I am a teacher just like you. I teach here in Ogun State. I teach computer studies. I've been teaching for 15 years now, and I've found myself drifting away gradually from teaching the students, sort of to promote the use of technology in the class, different kinds of technology and different kinds of projects targeted at promoting quality education in total. So I'm aware that you've been having different sessions. You've had Mrs. Idowu. I know she must have taught you Microsoft Word, and Mr. Kwefa, and I learned he did a bit of he taught you forms yesterday. So today we are going to be looking at Microsoft Excel and PowerPoint. So it's not just about knowing how to use Microsoft Excel or PowerPoint and all these tools, because I do tell people that I teach how to use technology in the classroom as teachers, not just how to use technology, because they are two different things entirely. Learning how to use Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel is different from learning how to use it as a teacher, because we do quite a whole lot of things in our various classes as teachers, and we need to be able to leverage tech to assist us in shifting off burdens away from our shoulders and ensuring that we're able to perform our tasks swiftly without hassle. So that's what I kind of focus more on, teaching teachers how to use tech appropriately in the class, because it's like I said earlier, it's quite different from just using tech. So that's what I'll be showing us today. Some of the things that we do every day. I'll be looking at how can we use tech to help ourselves so that we won't need to spend a couple of hours to do something that ordinarily shouldn't take more than 2 or 3 clicks. So let's see this training as like the foundation, because it's not over until it is over. Anybody that stops learning is old. So it's something that we need to continually build on. Yes, I studied computer science in the university. Yes, I even graduated with first class, but I tell you that 90% of things that I know, I had to learn on my own, not just the things that we were taught in the university by my lecturers or the College of Education by my lecturers. No, they are just things that I had to pick up myself. So till date, I still learn more about as basic as Excel, PowerPoint, Word, and what have you, because there are quite a whole lot of things to learn there. So I wouldn't want us to look at it and say, yes, I'm familiar with Microsoft Word and Excel and PowerPoint, and there is nothing there for me to learn again. Or after this program, then I can go back and relax and say, yes, I know everything about Word, Excel, PowerPoint, forms, and what have you. Even Excel, even Microsoft, they had different features to all these tools virtually every time, every year, every time there are one update or the other. Even our WhatsApp, as basic as WhatsApp is, you find out that they keep adding different features. At a point in time, we couldn't have audio call, we couldn't have video call, but it was introduced along the lines. So we won't say because we're familiar with WhatsApp, then we won't need to learn how to do certain things. Now they've added the disappearing messages and what have you. That's another feature. So we need to keep learning. And the more we interact with all these tools, the more you get better at using these tools. If I get invited to training and or conference, and one person probably just get up on the stage and say, you guys, I want to teach you how to use Microsoft Word, or how to start up a computer system, I tell you, I will adjust my seat and pay rapt attention, because it's possible that there is something that that person will probably say that I have not been using or I don't even know about. So it's not about I've been using this for 20 years, for 30 years, for 100 years, then I'm a master in it, then there is nothing there for me to learn. We need to just keep learning, and you learn new things every day. So I want us to open our hearts to learning, because that's the most important thing. When you attend training, you want to train teachers, you find out that most of the time, many of them will just switch off and say, yes, I know what this person is about to say, so I don't even need to open up my heart to learn. They kind of just jump to that conclusion that I know everything. No one is an island of knowledge. I love to learn from people. Some things I even learned from my students. I do say it. A student of mine taught me web development. My student taught me web development, and one of my students is my graphic designer now. He knows how to do it better than myself. I'm not afraid to say that, and I'm not ashamed to say that. That's just what it is. I can't know everything, but the fact is that when you keep learning, you know that the sky is just the takeoff point. So I want to welcome every one of us to this evening. Today's class is another session, another time for us to add to our collection to learn as well. So I wouldn't know, maybe I should just go ahead with my own session, Mr. Kwefa, or you're back now. Hello? I hope that I've not been talking to myself, sir.
Not at all. You can go ahead,
Please
sir.
go ahead, sir.
Okay, so today we'll be looking at Microsoft Excel and see how to do few things in Microsoft Excel. I do tell people, if you want to learn Microsoft Excel, it can take up to 1 full year, and even after that 1 full year, you'll find out that you still need to learn other things too. Microsoft Excel is one powerful Microsoft tool, exceedingly powerful, that you can do quite a whole lot of things. So today we'll be focusing on what I put on my screen here. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, I
Okay,
can see it,
so
sir.
we'll look at data entry,
Yes.
we'll look at basic formula. I said basic formula. There are hundreds of formulas there that we can use. Sum, average, minimum, maximum, count, if, and if time permits, we can move to other things. Then we look at conditional formatting, we look at charts, we look at how to add picture as notes. I know this is new, it's not something that we do every day. I tell you, I stumble on this not quite long myself, as well as live data in Excel. It's surprising that there are so many things that we can do in Excel that we don't even know about. How to freeze rows and columns. Maybe you're working with thousands of rows and you still need to keep your header intact. Then you need to freeze it so that you can still see what you're working on. So we'll look at how to create what we call a drop-down list in Excel. You want to fill a form, so you want to be able to drop down a list and select from the pool of data that you have there. You want to concatenate. Maybe you have the names of your students. You have their first name in a column, you have their last name in a column, and you need to bring everything together in one column. Maybe that's the format that you adopt in your school or in an organization that you're trying to prepare their data for. So we'll look at concatenate, and we'll end it up by looking at some tips in Excel that you can just keep on at your fingertip, that you can easily use anytime you're working on Excel. So the session will be hands-on, complete hands-on. So I will stop sharing the PowerPoint and just go straight to my Excel sheet, because I don't even want to waste our time by trying to talk and talk. There is no time for stories, so we just need to go to the Excel itself. So the first thing that we'll be looking at is the regular data entry. We need to get familiar with our Microsoft Excel. I know we know this, so I'll just brush over it in case we have one or two people that still need to play catch up. So this is our Microsoft Excel. We know it's quite familiar with other Microsoft tools, Word, PowerPoint, and others. But there are fewer differences, new additions, omissions here and there. Talking about the ribbon that we have here. So this is our Microsoft Excel ribbon. These are Microsoft Excel ribbon, and here you have different tabs. So these are tabs. The entire upper side of my window here is my ribbon. Then I've got different tabs there. So these are tabs. I've got my home tab with different tools. I've got my insert tab with different set of tools, page layout, formula, data, review, view, help. I can as well add other add-ons here. So this is our ribbon, and we've got our tabs here. In our different tabs, you find out that we have different set of tools there. So we just need to get ourselves familiar with whatever application we're working with. So on your own, you can just schedule time and just click on each and every of the tools there. You can just, even if you point your mouse on any of the tools there, it will tell you what that tool is all about. That's one nice thing about Microsoft. Because of its graphic user interface, it's quite friendly. It will tell you what that tool is it's doing there. So you don't even need to cram or say you want to keep tabs of all the names of the tools here. You don't even need it. So, but there is a difference there. If you look at the work area here, it's quite different from Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint. For Microsoft Word, we call it documents. For PowerPoint, we call it slides. So here in Excel, we work with what we call worksheets. We work with worksheets, and a collection of worksheets make up a workbook. So this is like a workbook. If you launch your Excel, you're launching a workbook, and in a workbook you have sheets. At my bottom, the bottom of my screen here, the left bottom of my screen here, I've got sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. I can click on this plus to add more sheets, sheet 4, sheet 5, and so on and so forth. Meaning I can have multiple sheets, I can have different things in different sheets here. Just like we have our books, you can have something written on page 1, another thing written on page 2, page 3, page 4, but everything is inside one book called our Excel workbook. Inside the Excel workbook, I now have Excel worksheets. I've got worksheets. Inside the sheet, I have rows and column. These are our rows. Our rows are labeled with numbers. Row 1, row 2, row 3. And if I press my shift and arrow key, the down arrow key, to show me the number of rows that I have here. So you don't get twisted that probably you have thousands of students and you're thinking maybe Excel won't even accommodate it. It can accommodate up to 1,048,576 rows that you have here. And the columns are labeled with alphabets. So if I press the same control at my forward arrow, it will take me to the last column. So we have over about 250 columns there. A, B, C, D, labeled with alphabets. We know we've got 26 alphabets, but when you get to Z, it will start all over again from A, B, A, C, and so on and so forth. So you have enough number of columns and you've got enough number of rows to work with. You can, let's say as a teacher, you're using Excel to prepare your work, your maths book, and you are taking 4 or 5 different classes, the same subject. So instead of keeping different workbook for each of the classes, you can just maintain a single workbook and keep different sheets for different class. Okay. Oh, so here our columns labeled with alphabet, our rows labeled with numbers, and the intersection of the rows and columns is what will give us the cell. These are cells. This rectangular shape, they are cells. In Excel, we write inside cells. We write inside cells. And why do we have cells here? Because we use Excel to manipulate data. We use it to manipulate data, unlike Microsoft Word, we just type documents and we keep typing and all that. But in Excel, we'll manipulate data. So for you to be manipulating data, you want it well arranged. And that is why you have these, your rows and columns and these grid lines there. If you try to print whatever you have on your Excel sheets, even with this grid line, it will show on paper, except you now instruct Excel that I want the grid lines to appear there. So these lines are imaginary in a way. just to help you keep tabs of the data you're keeping there. And if you want to type inside your data, you move your mouse pointer or your arrow keys to navigate from one cell to the other. So let's say here now I want to type name inside my column, my cell A1. Let me go back a bit. All these are our cells. There is a naming convention for our cell. The name of a cell is the combination of the column name and the row name. The column name and the row name. For example, the first cell that I have here is in column A, row 1. So the name of this cell is A1. So if I come somewhere here, if I come somewhere here, it is in column N and row 11. So this cell is cell N11. Cell N11. We need to know the names of our cells, because by the time you want to start having your calculations and what have you, you deal with the names of the cell, not with the contents. Okay, take for example, in my cell A1, I've got names there. My B1, maybe I want to have CA, maybe I want to have my CA scores there, and I put Shola here, I put Bayo here, I put Tunde here, and the scores I put 20 here out of 30, I've got 28 here, and I have 10 here. So if I want to now say we've got exam here over 70 or so, and you now have the scores of the students here, and I want to add up the CA and the exam, I will not say 20 plus 64. No, I'll need to make mention the cell names. I'll use the cell name, not what is in the cell. So for you to type inside your cell, click inside that cell, type. You can use your tab key to move to another cell, or just use your arrow keys on your keyboard to move from one cell to another, as I'm doing on the screen now. You can use your arrow keys to move here and there on the screen. Okay, so I want to pretend as if I'm creating a score sheet for a class, for a subject, just one subject for now, just one subject. And I've typed the name of my students here, Shola, Bayo, Tunde. Then I have my CA and I have the exam. If I want to find the total, of their marks, meaning I want to add up the marks for Shola CA with that of Shola's exam to give me the total marks over 100 for Shola. Ordinarily, if I'm doing this on paper, I will grab my calculator and start pressing and to add up the two figures together. But in Excel, we make use of formulas. So I'll show us how to use formulas, although you can as well just use your mouse and click. But I prefer showing us the traditional ways of doing it. If you're cool with that, then you can easily learn how to use your mouse and just click and you're fine. It's better for you to understand the basics and to understand the concepts. So I want to add up figures in Excel. How do I do that? I want to add up B2 and C2. That's what I want to add. Before you use formula in Excel, that formula must be preceded by an equal to sign. I left something out while I was explaining the bars there. Here is what we call our formula bar, where you have this f of x that says insert function. In front of it is our formula bar. So I want to type my formula. I can type it right inside my formula bar. If I even type inside my formula bar, it will also appear in the cell that I am trying to apply the formula to. So before writing any formula, I must start with the equal to sign. So I type my equal to say I am writing a formula. What do I want to do? I want to add up figures. If I'm adding up figures, I am using my sum function. I'm using my sum function. So I will type sum. It could be in lowercase. It's not case sensitive. I can change it and just write it in lowercase. It doesn't matter. So if I put my function, after every function, you need to open up a bracket. So I'll open up my brackets and look at what I said earlier. With Microsoft, the GUI is very, very friendly. It's already showing me the formula format. It's showing me the formula format that after typing my sum, I need to open a bracket, then I can indicate the number 1, the number 2, and so on and so forth if I'm adding several columns together. But in this case, I am adding cell B2, so I'll put B2. If I put B2 and I say comma C2, I am simply saying I have so many cells that I want to add. Let me put C2 again. Look at what has happened. It has highlighted the 2 cells, saying that I want to add up these 2 cells. So I'm done with my formula and I close the bracket. So here is the formula: equal to sum. You open your bracket, you type in the first cell, then in this case I've got just 2 cells, the second cell, then I press my enter. After pressing my enter, I have my total for Shola. I've got 20 plus 64 and it is 84. I don't need to repeat the same process for the other students. What I can do is to fill up the formulas and use my fill series, or I copy the formula and tell Excel, use the same formula for the remaining 2 cells. So how do I do that? How do I do that? You notice there is a tiny square at the bottom right corner here on the screen. There is a green tiny square at that bottom right corner. So I'll move my mouse on it, allow my pointer to change to this type of X cross. Rather, let me move it away. Let me move it back. It has changed to this type of cross. Then I can click down and drag. What I'm doing is I am trying to fill the series with the formula that I've used for Shola. So if I drag and I drop it, it will fill up the total marks for the other student. If you have 1,000 students, 1,000,000 students, that's how it will fill it up. Look at what has happened to this set of cells because there are no figures here. So if I come here now and I put any figure here, it will sum it up automatically. So even if you left out a student name and you've already formatted your cell to do the addition, the moment you type the figures there, it will add it up automatically. So that's how to use the sum. Let's now say I don't want to add just 2 cells. Maybe I'm having 20 different cells. Do I need to start saying C1, C2, C3, C4, C5? I can as well say from the first cell to the last cell. If I have, for example, I've got data in cell B2 to Q2, maybe from B2 to Q2. I don't need to say B2, C2, D2, E2, and so on and so forth. I can just say from B2 to C2. I can say from B2 to C2 by using my full column. If I press my full column, just like I've done now, you see that it's still the same thing. It's showing me that I'm adding from B2 to C2. It will still give me the same results. So if you're adding a series of cells, more than 2, you don't need to start putting comma for each and every one of the cells. So that's how to do addition. I want to now pretend as if I am creating a maths book. What I did earlier was like a score sheet for just one subject. Now I want us to see how to work with, let's say, 5 subjects, the broadsheets now. Let's say 5 subjects that we now need to do what we call find the average, sort, do positioning, and what have you. So that will take us to inserting columns or inserting rows. At the moment, I'm using 4 columns, column A, column B, column C, and column D. I'm using column A to D. I want to insert more columns here. I want to insert more columns. I want to change this to mathematics. I want to change this to English. Maybe I want to have Yoruba. I want to have other subject there, but I want to show us how to insert a column in an existing Excel sheet. So I want my column to be somewhere here. So I will come to my home tab key, my home tab, then I have insert here. So I've come to insert here. It's asking me, what do I want to insert? I want to insert column. So I'll click here and just click on it. Look at what has happened. It has created a blank column here for me. So I can now put maybe a subject here. I can put a subject here. That's just to show us how to insert a new column in an existing sheet. So let me jack up the marks here and add up another mark, set of marks for our students here. Okay, so as it is now, I have 4 subjects. It's quite different from what we did earlier. Let me insert a column here for maybe this will now be for our surname, and this will now be for the first name of our student. So let's say this is Adebayo, this is Clement, this is Ahmed, then I've got Bayo here, I've got Roots here, and I've got Zainab here. Okay, now I want to add up the figures. I want to find the average, and probably I want the position. Maybe I want the position. Let's just stop there. Mr. Okpefa is already saying we shouldn't go. Just take it poco a poco. So total here, I want to add up for maths, for biology, for English, for Yoruba here. So same thing here. Oh, this is still, there is still a formula here. So I can delete that formula so that don't forget we use formula there. So let me clear it. Else. Okay, so here I'll still put my equal to, then I'll put my sum and say from which cell. I need somebody to tell me the how to complete my formula here. I want to add up from mathematics to Yoruba. Anybody? So what do I put in my formula here?
C2
C2
to column
column
F2.
F2. Thank you. So then I press my enter. I have my total. So I can double click here for it to repeat the same process for the other student. So that is for total. The same thing we did now, we can do for average too. So I'll type my average. Remember, as teachers, we find average just to, maybe you want position or you want to see how well the students have performed. You want to add up all the subjects together and divide by the number of subjects. You can use 2 different ways, 2 different approaches. It could even be more than 2, but here we'll talk about 2. So I'll type my average, still the same set of cells, C2 to F2. The difference here is the average. The average is fine, is to calculate average, while sum is just to add it up. If I press enter, look at what it has done. It's the same average. It has added this together and divided it by 2. But some people will say I can as well put equal to and then say G2, which is my total, divided by the number of subjects 1, 2, 3, 4, divided by 4. Yes, you will still get the same subject, the same average, but the problem will probably arise when a student fails to write all the subjects. So let's say a student wrote, this student did not write Yoruba. Let me remove it from here. Did not write Yoruba. If I do this by just dividing by 4, let me fill it up. Look at the average for Ahmed Zainab. It's saying 36. But this is not fair because the student wrote just 3 subjects. We ought to find an average over 3 subjects, not 4 subjects. So it's saying 36. Let's go back and use the average function. Let's use the average function. The average and say C2 to F2 and close it up and fill it up. Look at Zainab's average here. Is 48, not 36. So that's why I prefer the use of functions. Functions will take into consideration every other thing, and we still have other functions. If you even press your equal to and you type probably one alphabet, it will tell you, it will show you quite a lot of functions that we have. So that is how to find total, how to use the sum function, and how to use the average function. On what we've done so far here, let me just stop at position. Okay, let's say we want to do position now. There is a function that we use. We use what we call rank. So I'll press my equal to and type my rank. I type my rank. Then I can open my bracket and it's showing me already number. Which one am I ranking? If I want to rank and find the position now, what column am I supposed to use to find my position? What column? Anybody, what column?
That should be H2, right? H2.
H. Oh yes,
2.
we are using H because H is where we have our average. So we are using our average to find the position. So I will do for the first student, then I can copy the formula for the other student. So I want to find the position of H2. Position of H2. This is not too complex anyway, but we just need to pay attention. If you even look at the format here, it's telling me that I need to put equal to here. And the next thing is the reference. Okay, from where to where? I want to find H2's position. From where to where? From H2 to H6. The formula is not complete as it is, but I decided to just write it out this way so that we can understand. I don't want to complicate things. Let's take it one after the other. I type rank, open the brackets, and say I am ranking H2. H2 is what we are working on now. I'm ranking H2, comma, rank H2 amongst a range of data. That is from the first student, which is that same H2, to the last student, which is H6. That's the formula. But this formula is not complete because I need to lock the cells down. I need to lock it down by adding $sign before and after my column name in the range. This is what I'm saying. Let me put, there will be a $sign here, $sign here, $sign here, $sign here. Now I can say the formula is complete. If I press enter, it's telling me that Adebayo should be second. Let's copy the formula for others. Yes, from here now, 57 is first, 49.25 is second, 49 is third, 48 is fourth, and 44.5 is fifth. So that's how to use our formula for your rank. How to use rank function to calculate positions in the class. So this is like a tip into what we do every day as teachers and how we can use Excel to help ourselves. There's another thing I want to show us here now. This is my broadsheet. For example, this is my own broadsheet now. I want to fill up the names and show us how to sort. Okay, now I have these are my students. I want to sort what I have here, maybe according to their names. I want the surname I want to use the surname to sort. I want the students with A to appear first, and then B, and so on and so forth. In Excel, if you know you still need to probably do a lot of conditioning, formatting, and what have you, it's better for you to select it and convert it to a table. When it's in a table, you can easily do certain things. There are several ways of doing that. One is for you to just select it and come to format and say format as table. If I do this, it's not just because I love color, it's because you see what I'm talking about. If I choose this now and say my table has header, look at what has happened. I have options here, meaning I can easily use this to sort. I can easily say yes, I want to sort, and just put A to Z here. Then I've done the sorting by just clicking on the header here. If I want to use their average to sort or their position to sort, then I can say from smallest to largest. Look at it, I've done the sorting. Without formatting it as a table, you need to select the entire sheet every now and then and go to data and then do sort, and then you start choosing what you want to use to sort. So this is to show us that there are several ways of sorting. I can select it and go to data and choose sort, and it will ask me the column that I probably want to use to sort. If I want to use sort name, then I can say from A to Z, then it's still the same thing. But once you format the heading this way, you can easily do a whole lot of things. So this is how to sort. I want to do something else here before we move on. Mr. Kweva, how many more minutes do I have? Mr. Samu, how many more minutes do I have? Okay, while he's trying to
You have
respond.
15, let's say 15 minutes, yeah. So that Mr. can start
Still
from
have 15
26.
minutes. I'll still have 15 minutes, no problem then. Okay, so I think we've touched how to enter data, how to move from one cell to the other, the naming convention of our cells and columns and what have you, how to use the sum function, the average function, the rank function, how to format our cells as table, how to sort. Now I want to insert a blank column, column here, and call it the student full name. There is a reason for this. I want to show us something. Full name. Look at what we have here. I have Adebayo here. I have Bayo here. What if the school is now saying no, we want the names together in one column. Don't separate it, just put everything together. So instead of you copying and pasting and trying to type the names all over again, you can easily use what we call concatenation. So the moment you start typing, it will even tell you, are you thinking of using concatenate? So I'll choose concatenate, then the bracket is open as usual. Look at the format. It's saying text 1. What do I want to concatenate? A2. I'll put A2. Comma is telling me that it should be comma. Then the other thing I want to concatenate, which should be what? B2. But before I put B2, I want to give a space in between the names. So I can open up a double quote, press my space bar to leave a space, close my double quotes. My quote is saying I am creating or adding strings here, not figures. I'm adding strings here. I open my column, I press my space bar, meaning I want to create a space bar here. I end it up with a column, a quote. It's saying keep a space for me here. I put my comma, then I put my B2. I close my bracket. If I press enter, look at what I have here. It has combined the two names together. So I want to see the entire column. I can just double click here. So it's showing me the two names. So look at what we've done here. Let's now reverse it. Let's now reverse it and now say, okay, what if I want the two names, what if I got the two names together and I want to break the two names into two different columns? So I have this, I go to my text to column. So we want to do reverse engineering now. I go to my text to column from here. Then I want to say, I want to don't let me use this because I already used formula here. I'm coming. Let me quickly type Adebayo Shola here. Don't worry about the names. I just want to type. Okay, let me stick to the same name so as we won't confuse ourselves. Okay, Adebayo is enough. Okay, it has even helped me out. So if I now come here, I want to create space for the concatenation. So I'll come here and I do text to column. I click on text to column. Under data, don't forget it's under data tab. Then I'll see my text to column. Then it's asking me what do I want to use to separate the data. If I choose my delimiter here, it's showing me already that characters such as comma or tabs can separate each field, and we already have space in between the names, so I'll do next. So it's asking me, do I want a space? I say yes. Adebin, I type comma in between the names. Let me move this away. Adebin, I type Adebayo, comma Bayo, Ahmed, comma Zenob, Shukwudi, comma Caleb. Then here I will choose comma. But because I have space in between and it's already showing me what I'm likely to get here, so I'll click next and I'll say I'm okay with that. Finish. So look at what we have here now. I have the two names in different columns. So you can combine columns, you can concatenate, and you can as well split a cell, a column into two different columns. So that's another thing that I think I talked about that we are going to take a look at. I want to use the max function. I won't spend more time on this. We can as well do this. If I want the maximum average here. If I type equals and I put max and I open my bracket, I can just mention from K2 to K6, meaning I want it to tell me the maximum. That is max. It's telling me this is max. Maybe in your class you need to find out the student with the highest score and the student with the lowest score. Lowest score says mean. Mean is for a minimum. K6, the same thing, then I'm done. So that's for minimum and maximum. We can easily do all those ones. The next thing that I want to show us is how to add charts. How to add charts. Okay, I have my scores here. Maybe as the admin in the school or the registrar, you want to present reports to the management at the end of the term. You want to show them this is how my students have fared in the exam, this is how they've performed in the exam, and you want to show them, maybe as the math teacher, you want to show them their performance in mathematics, or as the physics teacher, you want to show them the performance in physics. In physics, I want to delete these two columns. Okay, so how do I insert charts? Take for example, I want all these subjects in the chart. I can select, then I'll go to insert. From insert, I have different charts here. Look at recommended charts. I have bar charts, I've got column, I've got lines, I've got histogram, and so many. Yes?
There's
Hello?
a comment that you are too fast. There's a comment that you are too fast. Can you go slowly because of slow learners? I
Okay.
mean, or because it's a basic class basically anyway.
And you are the one that said time is up. Okay, I'll go back a little bit. So maybe I think the minimum, we shouldn't have issues with that. It's just the formula, then the first column to the last column. The same thing we did with our sum and our average. We are just replacing it with max to get us the maximum average here. In this case, for minimum is just going to be mean. And you can do same for each of the subject. Let's say you want to find out how your students have performed and you want to know the student with the highest mark in a particular subject. Okay, so that's that. The next thing, like I said, is to show us how to insert charts. So you want to make a presentation, you don't have enough time to show them the entire worksheet and show them 1,000 results of students. They won't love that. You are showing them how the students have performed and you are showing them the Excel sheet as a whole. No, you can use what we call charts. When we use charts, it becomes more enticing, more pleasing to the eyes when people can easily relate with the chart and see how the students have performed. So I'm saying I want to select the names and the 4 subjects here. the names and the 4 subjects here. I want to use it to on my charts. So I can click on insert, then go to my charts session here. Then I have different types of charts. One nice thing about Microsoft tools is it can even suggest that, okay, I don't know the type of chart that is suitable for the data that I've selected. Let me click on recommended and see. Maybe I will see something that I would like there. Look at what we have. It's even the one suggesting that I should use clustered column because I've got one student with 4 different data. And look at the sample that I have here. I have the different names of the student and their performance in different subjects. Different subjects is depicted with different colors. Let's say I don't want that. I can look at the second one. I don't want that. I'll look at the third one. Okay, I think I'll prefer this third one. I have the subjects together. Then I have the student performance. I've got blue representing bio. I've got red, orange representing Zenob. So if I click on OK now, I have my chart here. As simple as that. Just click and you're fine. What I did was to select the data that I want to use. Then I click on insert. Then I come to my chart. I use recommended so that it will give me the most suitable instead of wasting my time picking histogram, bar, pie chart, and what have you. That may not be suitable. So it has recommended this for me, and I feel it's okay for me because this is showing that, okay, in the whole exam I've got Clement performed better in biology than other subjects. I can easily make sense or draw inference from this chart. So that's how to add charts, and you can as well edit your chart by clicking on here and say SS3A 2020 2021 first term results. You can edit, and you can still do a whole lot of things with this chart. By if you click on this plus sign here, it's showing you the different elements. If I want the labels, I want the marks to appear there, I can click on it and say, okay, show me the labels on my chart too, so that people will not just be looking at the chart and say, is this one taller than this one? No. So if we have the figures there, they can easily see the marks of the students in form of charts. So this is how to use charts. So you can play with it and try and practice all these things that we've done. Our time is fast spent, and I still want to take questions. I'll just show us one more thing, then I'll open the floor for questions. So the other thing last thing I want to show us here, it's quite fascinating. So let's say you have your class, you have all their names here on your sheet, and you want to match their names with their pictures. You want to match their names with their pictures so that you won't lose track of the students you're talking about. Maybe you have 2 students bearing the same name and you want the pictures to be able to help you out. So I want to add a picture to Adebayo now. I'm on Adebayo. I'll right click on it and say new notes. I'll right click on it and say new notes. Look at what I have here. It's showing me nothing, right? As if it's blank, it's useless. No. I'll now right click again on it and say format comments. Let me go back. Right click on Adebayo's cell, choose new notes, right click again on this the new note blank page and choose format comments. From format comments, I'll go to my lines and colors. From lines and colors, I'll click on the drop down arrow and choose fill effects. I'll choose fill effect. From fill effects, I have picture. Then I can select my picture. Let me go to my computer and select a picture. Do I have a question here? So I'll come here and select a picture. He's not here. I want to put his face there. Let me just choose any picture. Okay, I have Fela here. Let me use a picture and insert. Then I'll choose OK and OK. With what I've done, I've added picture to bio. So anytime I move my mouse to bio, it's showing me bio's picture. So you can have this as a teacher. You want to match face with the name when you're working on it, or you want to populate your comments in the report sheet, and you're like, who is Shola again? Who is Shola again? You need to match the face with the name. So you can do this. Let me do one more so that for those of us that probably didn't get it the first time. So for Zainab now, I'll right click on it and do new notes. Right click again on this new note and choose format comments. Then I'll go to my lines, I'll go to my color, I'll choose fill effects, I'll come to picture, then I'll select my picture from my system, from my computer system, not from anywhere else. Okay, I've got a female picture here. Okay, then I'll choose OK. Okay, so I've added picture for Zainab here. So it's showing me Zainab. So it's showing me the picture for Adebayo and picture for Zainab here. So that's another way of adding notes to your data so that you can keep tabs on the students. You enjoy the student, you keep tabs on the student. So I think I want to stop there while I'll attend to questions and queries. Let me quickly check the chat box here. Okay, good evening, good evening. You are too faster. Okay. If we have questions, please you can ask your questions. Maybe the questions will take me to another aspect that I haven't touched. Like I said while I was doing the introduction, there are so many things that we need to learn in Excel. We've not even scratched the surface at all. So questions. So
all right.
who
Thank you so
stands?
much, Mr. Deco.
Okay.
You can stop recording, please.
Okay, I should stop recording. Hello? Hello? Sam, you said I should stop recording.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Are you saying I should stop recording? Oh, okay, fine, it's gone again. If you have questions, you can raise up your hand so that I can quickly attend to that
Yes,
while
I
I
think
leave
you
the
said you
space
should stop
for.
recording.
Okay, I should
You said
stop
you should
recording. I didn't
stop
catch that.
recording. Yeah.
Okay, done.